Just in case I mess up again, I have two little helpers, my little daughter Lily and Danny Ayres' little daughter Lilu. And Danny Ayres in town means that the Mildenhall Fen Tigers are in town to take on the Kent Kings here in the National Trophy this afternoon. The Fen Tigers arrive here with a record seven victories in the National Trophy, and they've won the last couple as well, so they're going for a hat-trick this year. But they'll need something here from Central Park with a rule change recently, meaning that the top team of the group wins the National Trophy. There's no two-legged final or anything like that. The two sides met the other week at West Row, and the Kings grabbed a dramatic victory by a couple of points. So I'm sure the Fen Tigers, who had some victories here last year, of course, will be looking to do that again this year. They're led, as I say, by former Kings hero, Danny Ayres, captain number one. They also include Jason Edwards at the top of the team, and with Matt Marson back in the side as well and scoring well. The experienced David Wallinger came in from over the winter, and they have a new team manager with Malcolm Vasey, the former Stoke team boss, in charge of the Fen Tigers. So they're here to do a good job here this afternoon as they bid to retain their National Trophy title. As for the home side, again, the injury problem still. Alex Spooner, who of course has ridden for Mildenhall in the past, he's still out, rider replacement for him, and Dan Gilks, Kent, are waiting on a comeback date for their exciting young reserve. But Nathan Ablett, who sat out last week's draw with Wimbledon Dons as a precaution, he's back in the side today. Drew Kemp has made it back from Germany from his World Under-21 qualifier, and the Kings will be looking to continue their winning streak. So they drew last week, but competitively they've won their other matches. If they can win today, they're almost nailed on to win the National Trophy, with two matches with the Isle of Wight to come. And the Isle of Wight themselves are in with a shout as well, but they'll need a favour from Mildenhall today. So it's all to play for here at Central Park, under the clouds unfortunately, but we're expecting sun later on. Before the action gets underway, we'll have a little wander around the pit lane. I'm not sure these two will join me, and we'll have a few words with a couple of guys who are lining up before today's National Trophy clash. Well, rather appropriately, with the Mildenhall Fen Tigers in town, we chat to one of their former riders, Jordan Jenkins. It's always going to be a tough match here this afternoon against Mill. You know how strong Mildenhall can be. They've assembled another useful side this year, obviously missing yourself and Drew from last year's team, but I guess you're expecting a tough match today.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be good to get one back over them. Obviously, we done it last week, only by 2 points, which we would have liked to done it by more. But I think myself and Drew have got a bit of a point to prove. Yeah. Not necessarily against the club. Just obviously you want to score well, don't you? You don't want to come back and have 4 points. They say, yeah, that's why we didn't bring it back. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good meeting today. Both got really strong sides. Obviously, Danny Ayres at number one is going to be real good today, I think.
And he's been flying, hasn't he, as well?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be in front of him.
Well, you may be this afternoon, so what's the plan if you are? Because don't forget, he knows his track very well as a former King.
I just won't look back and I'll be gone.
That's the flat. Sounds good. I like that philosophy, Jordan. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's going to be a really good meeting. It's just no last places, I think, and pick up the heat advantages where we can. Everyone's beatable. It's just I've felt really good the last few weeks. Got my bike problems sorted out and making some starts and getting my confidence up, which is good.
Indeed, yeah, I know you said to me before you had a few bike issues at the start of the season. First, were there different issues, or was there one particular one that you couldn't quite work out?
Different. I had really bad clutch problems, and then I blew 2 engines up in 2 weeks. I had one go at press and practice, and that had a full rebuild, and I put it in a week later and done 3 laps here and blew up, and so it had everything that was new again, plus more. So that wasn't great. And then the engine that I was riding at the time had the wrong cam in it, so it was hard to get myself to where I needed to be with the engines not being right, and obviously I couldn't send that one off without having my other one back, so it took a little bit of a while to sort out, but yeah, I think we got there, and just got to keep going now.
Indeed, I suppose it's frustrating from your own point of view, because especially when you join a new club, you obviously want to impress the fans. I know they're all excited when you signed over the winter and that, and I suppose for you want to show them the real Jordan Jenkins on a bike that you can rely on.
Yeah, definitely. I came here at the end of last year. I think I scored 14 points, and I really like the track here, and I think it just took me a little while to adjust, because all I've ever known is Mildenhall. So yeah, I'm loving my time here now, and great bunch of boys, and obviously Len and Chris and John. Yeah, it's all really good. I think get one over them today and then take it to the Isle of Wight on Thursday and do it again.
And how was it at the Fen Tigers last week? Well, I don't think they'd lost there for about 18 months. It was an exciting match. All kinds of things were going on, weren't there? And a dramatic victory was won.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. The track was unsurprisingly grippy at the beginning, but it slickened off so much, and I think a few of the boys started to find their feet, and then we had a chance of getting a 5-1, and then it turned to a 3-0, and silly points being dropped, but can't be helped. Yeah, it was a weird meeting, to be fair, and obviously my first one back there, not riding for Mildenhall. Bit weird, but yeah, good to get on over them.
Indeed. Well, that'll be the plan again today. So listen, thanks for your time, Jordan.
Thank you.
And best of luck this afternoon.
Thank you. Let's hope the rain stays away. Thanks.
It's always good to see former Kent hero, still a Kent hero to be fair, Danny. Mildenhall captain, number 1, Danny Ayres, back at Central Park once again. Firstly, Danny, you know this track very well. You just had a quick lap on foot. How are things? Usual Central Park or a bit different?
Standard Central Park. Listen, obviously it has caught me out once before we come here, but it just looks smooth, bit slick. But listen, you just have to adapt to track conditions. So yeah, buzzing to get started.
Indeed. And talking of getting started, back with another year with the Fen Tigers. Agonisingly close last year with what went, obviously your injury ultimately, I'd suggest, cost the Tigers more glory, but that's been the past. This year, another good side assembled, very much changed side. You've lost Drew and Jordan, who are here ironically, but you've still got a good team, and you've been absolutely flying so far this season, Danny.
Listen, like I've documented it well, that I finally sorted everything off the track, and I am really putting everything into this now. So fitness is great. I'm just mentally in a great place. So massive. Listen, it's the family, and with Barbara and Peter, all my sponsors. I've just got a setup and a team around me, which just allows me to put everything into this sport. And through hitting rock bottom in winter was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, and it's made me realise now, and it's put me in a great place. So I've had to go down to come up, and listen, I just want to keep going up.
Indeed. Well, we all hope that, and as proof of that as well, you've landed a championship spot with Scunthorpe, and you've been scoring pretty well for the Scorpions as well.
Listen, I feel the truth of the matter is, because every time I've been in them championship spots and that, I've not really been a championship rider. You know, I've been there because I was a good National League rider, and you look good on paper for their 6 and 7 spots. And the truth of the matter is, when I was at Glasgow, it was killing me, because I had to turn professional, and it was just too much. Then, you know, the following year I was at
Red Car, was it, at the spell?
Yeah, but just, you know, I was doing all 3 leagues, and it was too much, and I weren't there. And listen, you know, losing my mum, I weren't there, and I weren't taking the sport seriously. I've never took it seriously. Just because I used to turn up here and do really well, you'd go home and think that was enough. And it ain't enough. Not in this day and age. You have to be focused all year round. And like, just going back to it, last year I had to hit the bottom, and I hit the bottom of that pool, and I had to seriously think down, like, do I want to carry on, or because there's no point carrying on half-heartedly. So I had to just pack up, move down, and like I keep saying, Barbara and Peter have been a massive part of my career, and they took me in, and I sorted myself out. And you know, the truth of the matter is, without sounding like a big head, when I broke my wrist, that cost Mildenhall the title.
Oh, undoubtedly.
And no doubt about it, I would have won the National League Riders Championship at Leicester, because I just felt absolutely on song. So again, then we had to go back into a tough winter, but I put that, sorted that all out, and I got trainers, Ian Howe, who's been training me. I've just got Richard Parks, Darren Grinwood, and my dad, and then all my sponsors, Rock Oil, NGK Spark Plugs, and new on board, Steve Ware, Mitch Jennard. I mean, it just goes on. SP Landscapes, and everyone, KJM, Manchits, everyone has just come on, and it's given me a new lease of life. And now I'm dangerous. So
dangerous Danny, yeah.
So, I'm in a great place, and it was unfortunate that they one person's loss is another man's gain, and I got to Scunthorpe, and I've hit the ground running. And do you know what? I'm in the main body of the team at number 2, and I'm flying. Yet there's still so much more bike skill and everything to come out of me. So the future looks really bright at the minute, and we you know, I feel that I just going to keep dedicated and listen. Who knows where we can go?
I think what says it all, though, Danny, in a way that was yesterday, a couple of people noticed you actually dropped a point. I mean, that says it all. I mean, Alice Perch is going well as well, but I mean, the fact that you've actually scored, hang on, 14, not 15, that says it all, doesn't it?
You know, like, the truth of the matter is that riding around on slick tracks, it brings everyone to the same playing field. And, you know, the National League tracks are quite slick, so, you know, but then when you make the step to the Championship, they're all grippy. So, and that's why I feel that people struggle, and I definitely struggled when I went from Kent to Glasgow, the grip levels, and you're just not used to it. So, but listen, I'm in a great place. I've lost where I was going with that one there, but yeah, just listen, everything's just working lovely for me. And the truth of the matter is that, like, Redcar, oh look, Len, wrecking the thing. The truth of the matter is like, even when I was at Redcar, they put me in the qualifying races, and then at the end of the meeting come up and said, well, actually, we should have just put you straight in as seeded, because, you know, I think I'm now starting to make people stand up and realise that I'm actually turning into a championship rider, you know. So feet are firmly on the ground. I know I give it the big one, but I'm very humble, I'm very grateful, and listen, I just want to succeed. So it's all systems go.
It is. And one more before you go, because you had a good win with Ben Barker at Redcar the other night.
Yeah.
What about today, though, Danny? Bit of I say a shock defeat. Kent are a good side as well. At West Row the other week, funny old meeting. But what about today then? I mean, obviously you guys can score well here.
The truth of the matter is that Kent are, on paper, the strongest team in the league, and they have built a hell of a team. And, you know, it'll be a bit like us last year. If you know, it's going to be injuries and that for them not to really win this title.
Well, they've got to miss Dan Gilks for a while, haven't they? That is a loss.
Which is a massive loss, but you've still got 6 other great riders. So it's going to be hard, but everyone's only human. So if we can hit them hard to start with, who knows what. But listen, the boys are up for it, and all we can do is try our best. So it's going to be tough. It'd be nice to come here and get a win over them, but listen, like I've said, I started my career here. Kent's always going to be in my heart, and here we go.
They still love you, as we do. Thanks for your time, Danny.
Mate.
Top man.
Love to you all.
Well, great to hear from former Fen Tiger Jordan Jenkins and former Kent King Danny Ayres before this afternoon's National Trophy encounter. And before the action gets underway, we'll have a little look around the track to see where Len is, because he nearly ran us over earlier. But we'll let Len carry on his merry way down the back straight before we hand up to Steve Girdwood for this afternoon's race commentary.
Well, thanks for that, Glenn. And well, the parade vehicle just about to come off, but if you look to the left, you can see Danny Ayres. There he is. He's just got onto the parade vehicle now. He spent so long chatting to us. No wonder he's not quite ready. He is good value for money, though, isn't he, Danny? As the riders come round, a big match for both teams here this afternoon. A good-sized crowd has turned up for this Bank Holiday Monday afternoon meeting. Kent, well, if they win here today, they will be on the cusp of winning their first ever 7-man team event in their 7th season of racing. And Mildenhall, well, they do need an away win here to give them any chance, as the two teams, I think they're about to disembark from the parade vehicle. And then it'll be the intros of the two teams, as well, not quite sure what's going on. Some riders have got off, others have not. But here they come now. They're all coming down onto the track. And then it will be the introductions of the two teams. We think the announcer is down there again this afternoon. We're looking for him there. Yeah, I think there he is. And let's go down and get the two teams introduced.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, introducing the visiting team. Riding at number 7, a young lad that's been rapidly improving over the last 2 seasons. It's Macaulay Lee. Riding at number 6, a lad new on the scene and he's already pulling up some trees. It's Elliot Kelly. Riding at number 5, a man that loves this space, always scores well here, Jason Edwards. Riding at number 4, another lad that's riding well above his average this year, Charlie Brooks. Riding at number 3, another man that's been scoring really well and starting to pick up the away points as well, it's David Wallinger. Riding at number 2, a man that called up at a last minute call up from Oz, Matt Marson. And riding at number 1, the skipper, is Mr. Entertainment, Ayres. Moving on to the Kent side now, riding at number 7, glad to have him back, it's Nitro Nathan Ablett. At number 6, he's a bit of a cracker, it's Jacob Cloughton. At number 5, it's JJ, Jordan Jenkins. Riding at number 4, it's Peter Payne, Robert Ledwith. Riding at number 3, we've got Rocket Anders Rowe. Got no rider at number 2, that's covered by RR Franks. And at number 1, the man that's just come back from his European adventure, Drew Kemp.
So that's our two teams that line up here this afternoon, and we're just now over to Kirsty, one of her announcements. In fact, we'll get ready for heat number 1, which will be up next.
Scouts journey at the weekend. You know, it's a great pleasure to race in front of all you lot, and yeah, it's definitely appreciated by me and my family. And you know, it's a tough meeting, but a good learning experience. And you know, hopefully next year, next 5 years, I'll have many more. And yeah,
Well, a few words there from Drew Kemp, of course, who was rode in his German World Under-21 qualifier yesterday, and well, he had a lot of support from the Kent fans who helped him with the extra expense, of course, that's involved, as Drew helps himself to get rid of one of the young riders there, or tries to. But nice words there from the Kent Touch Tech number 1, and we will be getting ready for the first race in a moment. Mildenhall have won the toss, and they're going to be taking gates 1 and 3 in the opener, and Kent will get first choice in the nominated race. So the riders are on track then for heat number 1, at 4 p.m. start, of course, today, and we must be finished by 6 o'clock, and hopefully we won't have the problems that occurred in the meeting here against Thurrock in the Tunnel Trophy a few weeks ago. So we're just waiting for Robert Ledwith, in fact, to move over to gate number 2. Come on, Ledders, get with it. The Kent Touch Tech captain, he takes a rider replacement off 2. Drew Kemp comes out off gate number 4. Matt Marson is off gate number 1, and former Kent favourite, and well, he always will be a favourite here. He got a great reception on parade. That is Danny Ayres, who went from an unknown reserve to a heat leader in 3 very short but entertaining seasons. He comes out off of gate number 3. So Kent win here would almost have them victorious in their quest for their first team silverware as the race gets underway. It's not working well for them in heat number 1 though, because it is Ayres that leads the way from Marson in 2nd. Ledwith is in 3rd. Drew Kemp is at the back and struggling, and so is Ledwith there. He's taken a tumble. He's going to try and remount the race. Well, it is continuing, and it sees Drew Kemp now trying to come through in the 2nd place ahead of Matt Marson. He's got through on the inside of Marson in heat number 1. So very entertaining opening heat then, as Ayres it is who leads the way from Marson in 2nd, from Kemp in 2nd place, Marson back in 3rd, Ledwith really still continuing. It's looks like being a 4-2 in the opener, as Danny is going to come round and take the victory in heat number 1. There's plenty of Mildenhall fans here who cheered him across the line, and 1 or 2 Kemp ones as well, we've noticed, in the front of this very good sized crowd here this Monday afternoon bank holiday meeting. It is Ayres that takes the win. 2nd place goes to Drew Kemp, finding a way past Marson into 2nd place, as Rob Ledwith took a tumble. and it does mean that Mildenhall open up with a 4-2 in race number 10, race number 1, sorry, as Danny comes round to receive the applause. So he's still got plenty of support here, and so he should have after the 3 sterling years service he provided for the Kings. He's the race winner in the opener. So the riders out for heat number 2 then. The Fen Tigers 2 points up after heat number 1. Of course, that was the score that they lost by at West Row last Sunday, which was a very instant-packed meeting, as I'm sure you know by now. Kent came away with a 2-point victory, which has set them up very nicely to win this national trophy, although the Isle of Wight, well, they've still got chances after their draw at Plymouth on Friday. Heat number 2, we've got Jacob Cloughton off gate number 1, Elliot Kelly making his debut here at Central Park. He's off gate number 2. The referee's also making his debut. Stuart Wilson is down, I think, from Scotland. He's here this afternoon. Nathan Ablett is off gate number 3. He sat out last week's meeting after a couple of falls at West Row. And off gate number 4 is Macaulay Lee. Kent will be looking at a heat advantage in this one as race number 2 gets underway, and it's Jacob Cloughton who's made a great start there from the inside. He leads away. Ablett has taken a tumble. He has come down, and the race has been stopped by Stuart Wilson, and well, that certainly was a shame for Jacob Cloughton, who made one of his best starts that he's made here at Central Park, and he was away at, I'm afraid the red lights are put on. There's no disqualification like coming on at the moment, and all 4 riders have been invited back, so Nathan will be able to come out in the rerun. Let's hope that Jacob can make as good a start in it. So the 4 riders return for the rerun of heat number 2 then. Remind you, Mildenhall leading by 4 points to 2 after the opener. The Fen Tigers were in action yesterday against Leicester in the Knockout Cup. They won by 14 points, but they went down on aggregate by 9 points, I think it was, but gave a good account of themselves. And as Danny said in his interview with Glenn, he dropped a point, and it was to Ellis Perks, who rides at number 1 for the Leicester Cubs. Charlie Brooks was second highest score with paid 12 in that meeting, but good all-round team performance by the Fen Tigers. They've started off well here this afternoon. The rerun of heat number 2 gets underway, and Cloughton, well, he has made another good start from the inside, and it is he that leads the way. Ablett coming through on the inside. The 2 Fen Tigers, well, they're struggling in this one. It is the 2 Kent riders who are in first and second. Jacob Cloughton leads the way from Nathan Ablett in second place. In third spot it is Elliot Kelly on his debut here, as the Kent riders in first and second. Cloughton it is who leads the way. He's well, he had a troubled start, of course, to his Kent career last season when he came in at the beginning of 2018, and well, he had an injury, fell off just about where he was in, I think it was his first match, and he struggled to get back at his form and saw out most of the season, but he's back here this afternoon in as a replacement for Dan Gilks, and he's going to get a win here in heat number 2. Well done to Jacob, and that's got great reception from the crowd here. They know how tough it is for these riders, and well, that's an excellent win for Jacob there in heat number 2. Nathan Ablett doing well to get second place, with Macaulay Leake getting third spot, as Jacob were coming round on a lap of honour. And well, that's super riding from the 2 Kent Touch Tech Kings reserves, as Jacob, well, I think that could well be his first ever win as a King. Well done to him. Victory in heat number 2.
And the official results of heat number...
So moving swiftly on to heat number 3, and the lineup for this one, we've got David Wallinger. He comes out off of gate number 1. He's settled in well with the Fen Tigers, scored paid 7 yesterday, did David. Off gate number 2 it is Rob Ledwith. He didn't score in his first ride, of course, taking that tumble. Gate number 3 is Charlie Brooks, who was in good form against Leicester with those paid dozen points. And from the outside it is Anders Rowe, who had a good meeting for Somerset last week against Eastbourne. I think he scored paid 7, and that followed on from his performance here against Wimbledon, of course, which resulted in a draw here last Monday, with Ayres scoring 10 points, including 3 victories. Can he get a victory off gate number 4 in this one? It will be the first one of them. Heat number 3, Kent at 7 points to 5 in front. The race is underway. Good start there by Wallinger. He leads it from the inside. Here comes Rob Ledwith around the outside. The captain leads the way. And here comes Ayres Rowe. He's moved through into 3rd place ahead of Charlie Brooks. And now he's come through on the inside of Wallinger in the 2nd spot. Well, we've seen him do some tremendous passing on the inside line, especially on that 3rd and 4th bend this season. Ayres, we also filmed at Somerset, and we saw him run the same line at the Oak Tree Arena against Eastbourne last Wednesday, so it's certainly working well at both circuits, not dissimilar in size, as Rob Ledwith it is who leads the way from Rowe in 2nd place as they start the final lap. It's a 5-1-4 Kent, and this will see them move into a 6-point lead as Ledwith, well, he's going to come round and take the victory. 2nd place goes to Ayres Rowe. 3rd spot to David Wallinger. Nothing there for Charlie Brooks, who's seen quite a bit of action here when he was an Eastbourne Eagle, of course, when they rode in the National League. But well, super move there by Rowe to come through into 2nd place and join Rob Ledwith for a 5-1 in heat number 3. A similar result to what happened in race number 2 then. A win for Ledders, the Kent captain. Excellent racing by him and Ayres in race 3. Right, moving on to heat number 4 then, and the lineup for this one, where it sees Macaulay Leak coming out off of gate number 1. Off gate number 2 we have got Nathan Ablett, who beat Macaulay in heat number 2. Gate number 3 sees Jason Edwards, his first ride of the meeting, as it is for Jordan Jenkins off gate number 4. Of course, Jordan, he was with Mildenhall, well, he spent all of his career with them so far, the 3 years. He has been with the Fen Tigers, but it's, as he said in his interview with Glenn, thoroughly enjoying his time at Central Park. Jason Edwards, another rider who's had plenty of experience here, as he was an Eastbourne Eagle last year, and of course they were regular visitors here as heat number 4 gets underway. What a start there by Edwards, and the rider in blue there, well, Nathan Ablett, he got some lift there. Jordan Jenkins, well, he laid his machine down, but Ablett, well, his front wheel, it lifted badly coming out of the starts, and well, thank goodness he did not collide with any other riders. That could have been carnage, as Jordan Jenkins, we also came down. And well, in fact, it is the rider in red, Jordan Jenkins, has been disqualified, as been the scores of the stoppage. Not quite sure the reason for that, because it looked as if Jordan just laid his bike down. Cannot understand why he would be disqualified, and well, maybe the referee will change his decision. Not at the moment. Not quite sure why he made that decision. Just being checked out by the medical staff. The red exclusion light is still on for Jordan. He's rushing back to the pits to no doubt have a word with the referee. The crowd here, well, they are aghast at that decision, and let's hope that it gets altered. And in fact it has been altered, because we've just noticed that the blue exclusion light has now come on, so that was an error by the referee, and it is Nathan Ablett who has been disqualified as being the cause of the stoppage, and that certainly is the correct decision. The ambulance coming out to attend to Nathan. Let's hope that he's okay. He's only just come back, say, from a couple of knocks he took at West Row last Sunday, and well, let's hope it's only precautionary. But Nathan, well, he has been disqualified. We await news of his condition. And well, that's great to see that Nathan, well, he is back on his feet. He has been disqualified as being the cause of stoppage. He has been rightfully made that decision, but Nathan, well, I say that is good that he is back, and no harm, hopefully, and he will be out in his next ride. So the 3 remaining riders out then for the rerun of heat number 4, with Kent having started off well, or well, not starting off so well. They suffered a 4-2 in the first race, but they've had a couple of 5-1 since then, so have moved into a 6-point lead. If they do win here this afternoon, they're on the cusp, as we've said, of their first ever team silverware in the 7th season. Can't believe it's been 7 seasons since this great sport started here at Central Park, and it certainly would be nothing less than the promoters that Len and Roger deserve. And Chris Hunt, of course, the team manager. Heat number 4, the rerun gets underway. Good start there again by Edwards. He leads the way. Here comes Jordan Jenkins on the inside, but Edwards has got the lead. It is Jason who is out in front from Jordan in 2nd place. Macaulay back in 3rd as they complete the opening lap. These 2 riders, well, they seem very evenly matched indeed. Of course, Edwards, in effect, replaced Jenkins at Mildenhall this year, and Jenkins has moved on here to Central Park. Macaulay Lake back in 3rd. 2 laps down, 2 to go. Here comes Jenkins on the inside of Edwards, and he's got through into 1st place. Edwards trying to fight back himself on the inside, but just has to throttle back there. Exciting action in heat number 4. The best Kent could hope for was a shared heat in this one, and it looks as if that's what they're going to get, as Jordan Jenkins it is who's going to get one over his old team in his opening ride, as he defeats Jason Edwards. 3rd spot goes to Macaulay League. Our first shared heat of the meeting. The crowd certainly enjoying that one, as Jordan came through to get the victory, and it does mean that Kent remains 6 points in front, 15 points to 9. Jason made a good start but could not hold his position over the faster paced Macaulay Lake. Jordan receiving the applause, and so he should, after an excellent race win. So the riders swiftly up to the tapes for heat number 5. And this one, it brings Anders Rowe out off gate number 1. He'll be hoping to stay on the inside line, won't he? Was what we've just seen of him in his first race. Gate number 2, that sees Matt Marson. He got a 3rd place in his first ride. Rob Ledwith is off gate number 3. He's had that fall in heat number 1 and then that win in race number 3. And off gate number 4, Danny Ayres, who won heat number 1. He'll be no doubt looking to take another win here tonight, and or this afternoon, and we'll be looking to almost go through the card, you feel, here today. And you do feel as if perhaps they need to do that if Mildenhall are going to stand a chance of winning the national trophy for the 8th time in their history. They won it the last 2 seasons, going for a treble. They've been very, very successful in this competition over the years. The change of rules, of course, it's just going to be the top 4 teams with Isle of Wight, Plymouth. The other 2 teams, the team that finish at the top of the table, will be the winners as heat number 5 gets underway. Anders Rowe could be the winner in this one. He leads the way, although Rob Ledwith, well, he has taken a tumble there. The race, well, it is continuing. It is Rowe that leads the way from Ayres in 2nd place, 3rd spot Matt Marson, and Rob Ledwith, well, he is continuing as Ayres gives chase on Anders, and he is closing in as they come round the complete lap number 2. Here comes Ayres around the outside of Rowe, but Anders still holding at bay, but Danny looks like he's got the speed. He has indeed. He's moved through into 1st place now, riding of course for Scunthorpe in the championship, and as he said in his interview with Glenn, he certainly feels that he is a proper championship rider these days. It never really felt it in his 2 seasons at Glasgow and at Redcar, but he does feel part of the championship scene these days, and he's won heat number 5 there in great style. I think he's going for another lap as well, is Danny. He's going for another one. He wants to do a 5-lap race, and he's give the fans a bit of extra entertainment there, did Danny, and he certainly was entertaining in that one. Rod Ledley took a fall on the first lap. I'm not sure if there was any contact between him and Danny, but obviously I don't think there could have been. Although, as Rob would have looked up at the referee, no doubt, but it did not happen. And then Danny found a way past Ayres to take the victory with Matt Marson in third. Danny 5 laps. He wins heat number 5. And it does mean that Mildenhall close to within 4 points. They move on to 13. Kent still leading on 17 as Danny continues to thrill the fans.
Second in red is Anders Rowe.
On to race 6 then, and this one which sees Jason Edwards coming out off of gate number 1, beaten by Jordan Jenkins in heat number 4. Off at gate number 2 is Drew Kemp, who's beaten by Danny Ayres in heat number 1. Gate number 3 sees Elliot Kelly. He was beaten by the other 3 reserves in heat number 2. And off gate number 4, Nathan Ablett. Good to see Nathan able to take his place after his disqualification a couple of races ago. So Kent, well, they still hold the lead, but only by 4 points. Mildenhall, they are a dangerous team. We saw how good they were last year, of course, until injuries decimated their season. Heat number 6 gets underway. Good start there by Edwards from the inside. He gated well in his first ride, didn't he? And he's done so again in this one. He leads the way. Kemp is in second. Kelly is in third. Ablett is at the back as Kelly. Well, he's gone out very wide indeed. And it was 2 races developing in this one as Drew Kemp, well, he's chasing down Jason Edwards. Edwards riding a tighter line than he did against Anders Rowe, I think. And he's certainly learnt from his first outing. He's out in front, Kemp in second. Elliot Kelly, well, he's certainly learnt from his first outing where he was making his debut. Of course, he's back in third ahead of Ablett. It's another 4-2 for the visitors. Here comes Kemp Nose. They start the final lap. It is Jason Edwards who leads the way. Drew Kemp giving chase though, and he's trying to move around the outside. There's hardly a gap, but he's managed to come through it into first place. Thrilling ride by Kemp. Here comes Edwards, but it is Drew that holds on. Jason Edwards second. Well, cracking speedway action we've seen here this afternoon, and that was another absolutely thrilling race between these 2 young English stars of the not only the future, of the present as well. As Drew, well, he wins heat number 6, his first victory in thrilling fashion. Second place goes to Jason Edwards. Third spot to Elliot Kelly. Doing well to hold off Nathan Ablett, a 3-all in that one. And it does mean that Kent still have a 4-point lead after 6 races. A thriller in that one as Drew makes his way back to the pits.
Exactly, 60.0.
Well, after that thrilling heat number 6, we come on to race number 7, and this one it sees Jordan Jenkins off gate number 1. He got a win in his first ride. Gate number 2 sees David Wallinger. He scored a point first time out. Gate number 3, Jacob Cloughton, who got a win in his first ride. And off gate number 4 is Charlie Brooks, who didn't score in his first outing. So the home side, well, they may fancy their chances in this one. Both their riders having won their opening outings. 20 points to 16, the leader at the moment, then for Kent. This crucial National Trophy fixture. Oh, as Jacob Cloughton, well, he's just gone through the tapes there, unfortunately, and that will be a disqualification for him, I'm afraid. And well, it'll be up to Chris Hunt to decide whether he starts off 15 metres or whether they bring out the replacement, Nathan Ablett. Well, Chris Hunt's decision is that Jacob will come out off a 15-metre handicap off gate number 3, so, and that is a shame that he just touched the tapes there, because he would have been gained a lot of confidence from that win he got in heat number 2. So the restart of heat number 7, it is underway. Jenkins has made a good start from the inside. He leads the way from the 2 Fen Tigers in second and third. It is David Wallinger and Jacob Cloughton without a shot. He has taken a big spill down the down the back straight, and the race was obviously had to be stopped as he lost control. That's great to see that he's back to his feet. We just caught that out of the corner of our eyes because we were following the action out in front. But Jacob, having started off 15-metre handicap, just perhaps trying to make up a bit too much ground. But, well, it will be ReRun without Jacob, has been excluded as being the cause of the stoppage. So Jordan out by himself against David and Charlie. Twice he's made good starts, so as Jordan. So, well, say twice. Made a good start last time, but the first time the race was didn't get started, of course, did it? With his teammate Jacob touching the tape. So Jenkins out by himself, just as he was in heat number 4 when he got the better of Jason Edwards in a thriller. Heat number 7, it is underway. Wallinger has got some lift. Jenkins, a textbook start there, and it is he that leads the way. Wallinger is in second. Here comes Charlie Brooks around the outside. Brooks looking more competitive in this one as he tries to chase down Jenkins. The two Fen Tigers in second and third then, as Jordan, well, he still is extending his lead by about 7 or 8 bike lengths at the end of lap number 2. Charlie Brooks looking much better in this one. Didn't score in his first outing, but I'm sure he would have sorted out his setup for this one. He's in second place, Wallinger in third. The best, of course, Kent can hope for is a shared heat, and it looks if they're going to get one in heat number 7, and this will keep them 4 points up as we approach the halfway stage of this Crunch National Trophy encounter, as Jordan, where he's going to come round and make it 2 wins out of 2 against his former track. He wins the race. Brooks, well, he rode very well in that one and closed up a lot over the last couple of laps. He settles for second place. Third spot goes to David Wallinger. A shared heat as Jenkins comes round to... Oh, no, he's going straight back to the pits. He may well be out, in fact, in... Oh, yes, he is. He's straight out in the next race. He's got a ride replacement out in heat number 8. So we now know that he's coming out in the next race. Fine victory for him in heat 7. So moving on to heat number 8, and a bit of extra time has been given as Jordan was indeed coming out for 2 rides on the trot. And well, it's up to heat 8, just around about the halfway stage, of course. And by the time it's nearly 5 o'clock, so still on schedule to get through all 15 heats here this afternoon. The riders out on track then. We've got Nathan Ablett coming out off gate number 1. Off gate number 2, it is Macaulay Leake, who's scored a couple of third places so far. Gate number 3 is Jordan Jenkins, who has 2 fantastic victories. And off at gate number 4, it is Matt Marson, who scored a couple of third places so far. The youngster from Perth, who answered the call of Mildenhall when Sam Beebe was injured pre-season and the press and practice day, as Jenkins leads the way. He really is making some super gates, isn't he? But here comes Macaulay Leake on the inside. It's all getting very tight indeed, and the 3 riders have come down as Jenkins, Macaulay Leake ran into Jordan, and well, then Matt Marson had to lay his bike down, and as Glenn Collins said, it all got very untidy there as the 3 riders are down. The only rider to stay up is Nathan Ablett, and well, I'm sure he's happy about that, because he's had a couple of falls as Nathan, but Jordan, a bit of it concern for him. He was holding his behind, so I think he may in fact have got a tyre burn, possibly, how close it was with Macaulay Leake's front wheel. But Macaulay, well, he's been disqualified as being the cause of the stoppage. Of course, these bikes, they have no brakes, and Macaulay was just coming in a bit quick there, challenging Jordan. Couldn't slow down quite fast enough. A bit of concern, though, for Jenkins. He's the only rider still down. Hopefully, he will soon be back on his feet. Well, that's great to see. Jordan is back to his feet and just readjusting himself there, and he will be back out for the rerun, I'm sure, of heat number 8. Mildenhall having to go with just Matt Marson. So Jordan, good to see him back on track, and we're ready to go for the rerun of heat number 8. We had a few reruns and restarts so far, as we do most weeks here, of course, at Central Park. Heat number 8, second time around. Jenkins has made a good start. He leads the way. Marson in second place. Ablett is in third. Here comes Matt Marson around the outside of Jordan Jenkins, and he's giving it a good try here as the Australian, and in fact he could be moving through into first place. He is indeed, but Jenkins comes back on the inside. Great action once again here at Central Park. The track has been superbly prepared by Len Silver, as the riders are being able to race very competitively and very closely together. It is still Jenkins out in front then from Marson in second. Ablett holding on to third. It's a 4-2 for Kent. This could see them move into a 6-point lead with 7 races remaining. And Jordan, well, this could be his third straight victory. They go down the back straight for the third time. Marson, well, now he's losing a little bit of ground, and he's still holding on to that second place. Nathan Ablett in third. It looks like it's going to be a 4-2 for Kent, as Jordan, well, he did come under pressure from Matt, especially for the first couple of laps, but managed to hold on for the victory. Kent move on to 27, Mildenhall on to 21. Mildenhall, they've always had something of a hoodoo over Kent over the years, but the Touch Tech Kings could be getting a victory here this afternoon. They're 6 points up with 7 races remaining. Jordan Jenkins in great form, 3 rides and 3 wins.
And the score result of heat number 8, sponsored by Sunnybank Body Repairs.
Heat number 9, and the lineup brings out Rob Ledwith off gate number 1. He's had a win, but he's also had those 2 falls, which resulted in a couple of last places, has led us so far this afternoon. Jason Edwards is off gate number 2. He's made the start on both of his 2 rides, but both times he's been passed by Kent riders. Gate number 3, that sees Anders Rowe. He has had 2 second places, 1 a paid win. He's off gate number 3, and Elliot Kelly, he got paid second in his last ride. After a pointless first ride, he's off gate number 4. Heat number 9 gets underway. Ledwith has got a bit of lift on his Nicky Pedersen former bike, but he's still made a good enough start. Rowan is who's taken the lead from Ledwith in second place. Third spot, Jason Edwards. It is a 5-1 for the Touch Tech Kings of Kent. Elliot Kelly in last position. Jason Edwards did not make a good start as he did in his first 2 races, and it looks as if Kent could be getting another 5-1. It would be their third of the meeting and the second of the match for this pairing, the Rowe-Ledwith combination. Jason Edwards not really close enough to make a challenge. It looks as if Anders is going to win his first race of the afternoon. He's out in front, and this will see Kent move into a 10-point lead with just 6 races remaining. Of course, it will mean that Malcolm Vasey could bring out a tactical substitution at some stage, as Kent, where they are taking command of this National Trophy fixture. Anders winning his first race of the meeting, and a good pairing for this duo. A 5-1, 32 points now to Kent, 22 to Mildenhall. So heat number 10, and the lineup for this one, well, we think it's Jacob Cloughton coming out off gate number 1. We was not really concentrating on that as the announcement was made. Apologies for that, but I think that does look like Jacob off the inside gate position. Gate number 2, that sees Charlie Brooks. Gate number 3, it is Drew Kemp, and from the outside we have got David Wallinger. As the riders settle at the start line, then no tactical substitutions being ruled out by team manager Vasey in this one as the race gets underway, and indeed that is Jacob off of gate number 1, and it is Drew Kemp off of gate number 3 who's made a brilliant start. He leads the way then. So Kemp held in front, he won his last ride, and there's a faller there as the rider in yellow, that is Charlie Brooks. He has come down, he's trying to get off the track in time, although the red lights have come on, the flags are out. And well, that was a good effort by Charlie. He was trying to clear the track, but unfortunately these bikes, they do have a habit of coming round very quickly indeed from lap to lap. And Charlie, I'm afraid he would be disqualified as being the cause of the stoppage, as the 2-minute time allowance goes for the restart or rerun of heat number 10. So the riders out for the rerun of heat number 10 then. Just David Wallinger for the Fen Tigers. It is Drew Kemp who's made the start, not unexpectedly. Wallinger is in second place. Jacob Cloughton could pick up another point here. He's back in third, as out in front it is Kemp that leads the way then from Wallinger in second, and Jacob, well, he's riding a pretty good race in third. He's certainly looking more assured here this afternoon. He's struggled a bit with points in the last couple of meetings, although he did score better against Wimbledon, and he's scoring well here tonight. This afternoon, this could be 4 points from his first 3 rides, as Drew Kemp leads the way. He's heading towards his second victory of the meeting, and it would be another 4-2 for the Kent Tuxedo Kings, and this would see them 14 points in front with just 5 races remaining. As Drew, well, he's going to come round and collect the 3 points. He was disappointed with his 3-point tally yesterday in Germany, but he won't be disappointed with those 3 points. He wins heat number 10. Second place goes to David Wallinger, his best ride of the meeting. Third spot goes to Jacob Cloughton, collecting another point. He's doing well. A 4-2 for the home side then, as Kent, well, they move on to 36, Mildenhall on to 24. It looks as if the 3 National Trophy points are coming the way of the Kent side, as Drew wins another heat. So we move on to heat number 11. Got some cracking races coming up, I'm sure, that over these next 5 races. Let's hope we get each of them in. We've got, what's the time now? 5:22, so still nearly 40 minutes to collect these 5 races. So ought to do it. Heat number 11, Danny Ayres, unbeaten. He comes out off gate number 1. Gate number 2, Jordan Jenkins, unbeaten. Gate number 3, Matt Marson, he scored 4 points so far. Gate number 4, Jacob Cloughton coming out for his 4th ride. He's also scored 4 points. 36-24 is the score. Kent are edging in on that almost unassailable lead in the National Trophy. As the race gets underway, and it is Ayres from the inside who's made the best start. He leads the way. Jenkins in second. Marson is in third. Cloughton is at the back. As they come round to complete the opening lap then, Ayres, well, he's going to be a very tough rider to beat in this one, having made a good start. He leads the way. Third place is close between between Matt Marson and Jacob Cloughton. Marson just holding on to that 3rd spot at the moment. Ayres is away and gone. Jordan Jenkins safe in 2nd place. The main battle going on for that 3rd between Marson and Cloughton. And Matt, well, he's holding on to 3rd position at the moment, although there's not that much between the pair of them. As Ayres, well, he's going to make it 3 rides and 3 wins. Jenkins is going to suffer his first defeat of the night, of the afternoon. Matt Marson still holding on to that 3rd position ahead of Jacob. Is Danny, well, he's going to come round and make it a hat-trick of victories. 2nd spot goes to Jenkins, and Matt Marson, well, he holds on to that 3rd. That's where the main action was in heat number 11. A 4-2 for the visitors then, and Mildenhall, well, they are still in with a chance. They reduce the gap to 10 points with 4 races remaining, and Danny winning his 3rd race. And well, I'm sure the tactical substitution rule is in place for the National Trophy. I don't think it is for the Knockout Cup, but I think it is for the trophy, and I would imagine that Danny will be out again in heat 12. We will wait and see. Heat number 12, next one up, and indeed our prediction was correct. Danny Ayres is coming out for another ride, taking the place of Elliot Kelly. So tactical substitution time for the Fen Tigers. So Ayres off gate number 1, Anders Rose off gate number 2, gate number 3, that sees David Wallinger. From the outside, Nathan Ablett. Going to be a tough test this for Nathan. He has scored paid for so far from his 4 outings. Ayres, well, he's only dropped 1 point. That was in his second ride to Danny. That was in heat number 5. So Ayres has got a chance of his revenge in this one. David Wallinger, he has scored paid 5 so far, so he's been steady as David. So Kent, they'll be looking to get a shared heat in this one. Could be tough though with Ayres and Wallinger in the lineup. The race gets underway. Danny has made a brilliant start. He leads the way. Rowe is in second place. Ablett coming right, or coming around the outside as Rowe comes on the inside of Danny. Ayres cracking action in heat number 12. As Ayres has got a bit of lift there, and Rowe has come through in the first place, but Ayres comes back again on the outside. Ablett is holding off Wallinger. This is a great ride by Nathan as Danny leads the way. What great action we had in the opening lap of heat number 12 as Ayres still leads them from Rowe in second place. Ablett doing superbly well to hold off Wallinger, a heat leader for the Fen Tigers. Ayres is going to claim his full straight victory, but all eyes are on the battle for second, third and fourth as Rowe's in that second place. Getting very caught up there in the action. Nathan Ablett, he's holding on to that third place. This will be an excellent 3-all for Kent if they can do it. Danny Ayres wins another race. Rowe gets second, and Nathan Ablett, well, that is an excellent third place for him as Ayres, well, he wins his full straight race in heat number 12. Cracking action once again here at Central Park. A 3-all, and Kent will be delighted with that. It means they've still got a 10-point lead with 3 races remaining, and if they can get a 3-all in heat number 13, they would have sealed the National Trophy points here tonight, or today rather, as Danny came from the back there to beat Ayres Rowe. Cracking opening lap. So heat number 13, and this one, well, it could see Kent on the cusp of winning their first ever 7-man team title. Of course, of course it was that the rider in white in your picture, Danny Ayres. He was part of the Kent duo that won the National League pairs about 4 seasons ago. Of course, he joined Ben Morley for that, and a never to be forgotten night at Kings Lynn. That was a great achievement by Danny and Ben. They both moved on to pastures new, of course. Danny with Mildenhall, Ben with the Isle of Wight Warriors, who are the last visitors in the National Trophy here next Monday. So Kent, can they get the victory here tonight? Drew Kemp off 1, Danny Ayres off 2, Jordan Jenkins 3, Jason Edwards on the outside. Ayres again has made a fast start, this time off gate number 2, he leads the way, he's looking for Jason Edwards. Drew Kemp is in second place, Edwards has gone out a bit wide there, and that has allowed Jordan Jenkins through in the third spot, although here comes Jason Edwards back on the outside. They're going to let Ayres go, the 2 Kent riders are going to just try and keep Jason Edwards behind them, and it will mean that the Touch Tech Kings are victorious here this afternoon. They obviously realise, I think, that Danny is very much uncatchable here this afternoon, so they're just content to stay in second and third place. This has been a masterclass by Danny Ayres as he comes around to start the final lap. Look at the lead that he's got over the other riders as he's leading the way. Second place it is Drew Kemp, third spot it is still Jordan Jenkins, and this will seal the match for Kent as Danny Ayres takes the win very easily indeed. Second place goes to Drew Kemp, third spot to Jordan Jenkins. Jason Edwards, nothing for him in that one, as Danny, well, he's delighted with that, and he's now showing the fans above him on the back straight just how much it means to him. And here now he's going to come round on a lap of honour. 15 points from 5 rides he's scored, and so he really has become an excellent speedway rider, and celebrating with the fans. They love him here. Another win for Dan. So heat number 14 then, and we've got one change in this. Chris Hunt, well, he's taken Jacob Clarendon out of his final ride and brought Nathan Ablett in. So reserve switch by Chris. So he joins Rob Ledwith, his captain, who comes out off gate number 4 in this one. Gate number 1, that sees Charlie Brooks, and gate number 3 it is Macaulay Leake. So Kent, well, they may fancy their chances of a heat advantage in this one. They've done well to come back from that 2-point deficit, of course, after heat number 1, and they're now leading by 10 points, 2 races remaining. Heat number 14 gets underway, and it is Ledwith off gate number 4, who's made the best start. He leads the way. Brooks is in second. Ablett is fighting there for third place with Macaulay Leake, and he's come through in the third place. And now he's, oh, well, that's a shame for Nathan as his bike goes careering away from him. And also Macaulay Leake, well, he has also come down the heat. Well, it's had to be stopped. And Macaulay, they're coming down, I think, after Nathan fell. So I'd imagine it would be a disqualification for Ablett, waiting for the decision to be made. Nathan back to his feet. Indeed, well, in fact, it's a double disqualification. We didn't quite see Macaulay fall in that one, but they're not too happy. There's Macaulay and his mechanic, but Leake has been disqualified, so has Nathan. So just the 2 riders coming out, and effectively a match race between Rob Ledwith and Charlie Brooks. So the 2 remaining riders at the start line then, with Charlie coming out off gate number 1 and Rob coming out off gate number 4. So Ledders will certainly be looking to win his second race of the meeting in this one. There's Graham Arnold, he's happy, he walks away, and out of the start it is Rob Ledwith who's leads off gate number 4, just as he was in the first stage of this race. He's in front of Brooks in second place. It's a match race as Brooks, where he's got very close there to Rob, but fortunately he didn't run into him. Only 1 lap gone, and it is Ledwith that leads the way. It's been an excellent comeback for Rob after 22 years. Can you believe that? 22 years away from the sport. He rode in an individual meeting, a veterans race, I think it was, at Lyd last season. Got the bug back, and then rode in the final meeting here, the individual meeting, where he finished in 4th place. And that got him his team place here for 2019, and it looks like he's going to get 3 points here, although Charlie Brooks, he's not that far behind him as they come round to take the checkered flag. It's going to be Rod Ledwith who just holds on to the victory there. Brooks, well, he did close in quite significantly over the last lap and a half, but Rob takes the victory from Charlie. A 3-2 for the home side then, and a 47-36 lead with just 1 race remaining, as Rob receives the applause. And Gordon from the Whistle Gang says, look, he's behind you, and he certainly wasn't that far behind, but Charlie Brooks has to settle for second. So the riders out for heat number 15 then, and we've got a bit of a problem there with the tapes just being repositioned. So the lineup we have got off gate number 1 is Jordan Jenkins. Gate number 2 sees Danny Ayres. Gate number 3 it is Drew Kemp, and from the outside we've got Jason Edwards. So Danny, can he possibly? Oh, it says he gets caught there. Oh my goodness, having a bit of a moment now. Can he get to an 18-point maximum here? I think his cut-off has just come adrift, so just sorting that out. Graham Arnold on hand. A few bits of fun and games there at the start line, but we're about ready to go for the 15th and final race of what's been a very entertaining National Trophy fixture. Kent have won here this evening and could go the Isle of Wight and win their first ever team trophy next Thursday. Heat 15 gets underway. Danny Ayres, he can get a full 18-point maximum here. If he can hold on, he leads down the back straight. From in second place is Jason Edwards. In third spot it is, his problems there as Drew Kemp has come down. A big spill there involving Drew. He has lain down on the track and he did come down quite alarmingly there. His bike just backed up, unfortunately, and he is down on the ground, and I'm afraid it's going to be a disqualification for Drew, and we're not sure that we will see any further action. The time is getting on a bit, but let's hope that Drew is able to get back to his feet. He is moving, but it was a hard spill for him. We'll wait news on Drew. Well, that's good to see Drew back to his feet, and it did look as if it could have been a collarbone injury, but thankfully it doesn't seem to be the case. And we've just got 5 minutes left. Hope we can get the rerun of heat number 15 underway. Well, it's great that we have got the 3 remaining riders coming out for what will hopefully be it will be the very last action of this National Trophy fixture, because we've only got a couple of minutes of our curfew left. So can Danny go through the card here tonight? He certainly does deserve it. He has been quite exceptional today. Heat number 15 then. Rerun gets underway and he's made another brilliant start. He leads the way with Wallinger coming around the outside as well, and he's moved through in the first place. Wallinger, Jason Edwards is who's come through in the first place. Apologies for that, Jason. But it's Edwards that leads the way from Ayres in second position. In third spot it is Jordan Jenkins, and now Danny coming back around the outside of his teammate. He's after an 18-point maximum, and no one would begrudge him it here at Central Park tonight, as he's got less than 2 laps to go. Mildenhall on a 5-1 as Danny Ayres leads the way. So we've seen him from a raw reserve rider here for Kent 4 or 5 years ago, and he really has developed quite superbly. And this has been a masterclass from the Mildenhall Fen Tigers, number 1 here this afternoon. He's going to make it 6 wins out of 6. It's going to be a quite brilliant 18-point maximum. Danny Ayres, superb. Second place goes to Jason Edwards. Third spot to the rider in red, that is Jordan Jenkins. A 5-1 to finish with then for Mildenhall. And as Glenn Collins in it says there, he's been simply sublime. He most certainly has here today, as Kent, well, they do run out victors by 48 points to 41, but no doubt as to the individual star here today, it has been that man Danny Ayres, quite brilliant. We've seen 1 or 2 of his celebrations over the seasons here, and what's he got in store here after, he nearly fell. He really is so popular. As we pull back, we can see the Kent fans alongside the Mildenhall fans, also absolutely delighted for Danny, as Jason Edwards he celebrates on one wheel, and Ayres, well, he's going to come round or go round on another lap of honour. So Kent, well, they say they run out victors here this afternoon by 48 points to 41, but no doubt of the star of the show, that rider in your picture, Danny Ayres. Well done to him. Well done to Kent for giving themselves a great chance of their first ever 7-man team at silverware. I don't think we're going to get Danny off the track any time soon, but next up will be the parade of the winning team, the Kent Touch Tech Kings.
The final score. The Kent Touch Tech Kings 48.
So here come the victorious Kent Touch Tech Kings then, and as they come round on track, we'll give you this afternoon's scorers, starting with Mildenhall through. Danny Ayres was quite sublime, wasn't he? 6 rides, 6 wins, 18 points maximum. Well done, Danny. Matt Marson, he finished with 5 and 1 from his 4 rides. David Wallinger, 4 and 1 from his 4 outings. Charlie Brooks, 4 points from 4. Jason Edwards, second highest score on paid 8 from his 5. Elliot Kelly scored a point and 1 bonus. Macaulay Leake, 2 and 1. That added up to 41 points. For Kent, Drew Kemp, 10 points. That fall in his last ride. And hopefully he's okay after that. Can't quite see him at the moment. Not sure if he's still having treatment. And in fact, I think that is Drew on the right-hand side, so I think he is there. Anders Rohn, he scored a solid 9 and 1 bonus from his 4 rides. Rob Ledwith, 8 and 1 from his 5 outings, including 2 wins. Jordan Jenkins, 13 and 1 from his 6 rides. He was top scorer. Jacob Cloughton, he got a race win in Heat 2. That was superb. That's 4 points from his 4 rides. And Nathan Ablett, he finished with 4 and 2 from his 6 rides. A mixed afternoon for Nathan. And well, it looks like they're going to go straight into the press conference as the fans that have stayed here applaud them. Or are they, in fact, are they going to have a few words with Danny? No, I think they're going to go straight through to the press conference as the fans cheer the riders. And let's go and listen to what the reaction is to the action.
Obviously, we've got the winning side up here tonight. We've also got a bit of club legend in Danny Ayres, a few words. And, Danny, obviously, a max again today. What have you got to say?
This is what leg. But listen, the first thing I want to say is that I dedicate this to Dave Pringle. Obviously, he's a massive part of this club, and I'm going to have to be wary here because I can feel it coming. But look, it's a horrible situation, and all my thoughts and prayer with him. So today, that 18-point maximum was rigged for him, and there was nothing that could have stopped me getting this.
Changing the subject slightly, obviously everyone sort of echoes that sentiment. Looking at Mildenhall season, Dan, got a reasonable side there, some young riders. What do you think you can achieve?
Listen, they're all improving. A bit on or off here. Yeah, give me the best one, okay? Nah, listen, we're a young team. It's difficult because what? Cheeky little man. Still so good the way around there. Listen, obviously last year we were a proper outfit. This year we're not as strong. But look, at the end of the day, like I keep echoing that, we're just over the moon to have a club at Mildenhall this year. So anything on top of that will just be a bonus. Listen, they've all shown me today that they were trying and they were getting beat, but they were trying. And listen, you can't ask for no more than that. This team here
Well, out of battery. My voice is big enough.
Hello.
I thought this was a professional outfit. I forgot what I was saying now. Just waffling on. Just listen, like I say, they're trying, and Kent, if you don't win it this year, it's going to be a disaster because they've got such a strong team. And obviously, like we know, Kent, my heart is where I started, and yeah, I just wanted to come back and show them what it's about.
Let's have a chat about batteries and then we'll move along to the boss, Chris.
Is that alright? Yeah, listen, I just want to say a massive thanks to Barbara and Peter. Yeah. If it's weren't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today. You know, they've been a massive support to me, and they're the reason why I am doing what I'm doing. And listen, I owe it all to them, so they don't like me mentioning them, but they're having it. So I love yous, and thank you, and there we go.
So moving along now to Chris. Chris, very much a case of job done today.
Yes. It's job done for us. It's tough out there today. Mildenhall are a good side, especially when we come across Danny. And we're confident. Remember, we've still got two riders injured, so we're happy with what we're doing.
So on to Thursday night. Obviously, we've got Isle of Wight this week. I believe now we need a point, and the trophy's ours.
Yeah, a point from our next two meetings is our target, but our target's to go to the island on Thursday and get a win, because I love winning there. So,
on a selfish note, I can't make Thursday, so if you can sort of lose by 7 points on Thursday and come and do the job next week, I'd be quite grateful. Joking aside, obviously, we've got two riders on the sidelines. Is there any news on when they're likely to be back?
No, I think they're probably still a little bit long term, but I think as soon as Dan can physically sit himself on a bike, I think he'll be out there riding. But we're still waiting on some results for Alex. But Jacob's come in today and done a really good job for us. So we're all happy.
We'll move along to Jacob in a second, but I was just going to say, obviously when we've got someone like Jacob that's coming in and scoring the points down there and getting that race winning Heat 2 was obviously a big confidence booster for him. Dan's not as much missed as perhaps he could have been.
Well, that's right. Jacob come in and Heat 2 was absolutely superb, and that's the job that we've got him in to do, and he's proven us right choice to have in at number 6 in place of Dan.
There you go, it's the boss man, it's Chris Hunt. Moving on the line now, a man that sort of had a bit of a short career for Kent last year. Big favourite with the fans. I don't think you realise quite how popular you are with the fans, and everyone likes your attitude. Nice, friendly guy, got a good style on the bike. How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm loving it. First win under my belt. Hopefully there's many more to come as well. So I'm enjoying it at Kent. These first few meetings and just keep going.
Obviously, you're sort of without a club at the moment. That's obviously a big benefit to Kent. And that, have you had many people ring in the phone recently?
I've had a couple, but it's just we kind of take our time. I like it here, so this is where I'd like to do a few more guest bookings if I can.
Well, I think that most people consider you to be part of the family, and they'll be pretty happy to hear that. So, Jacob, sort of making a big habit of this coming up here now. Had a sticky start to the season, had a few mechanical gremlins, confidence was a little bit low. Had one good meeting and now no one can catch her. Where did it come from and what's the secret?
There is no secret. I struggled a bit early on, a lot of mechanical problems, blew 2 engines and a couple of big bills from the engine tuner, but yeah, I think we finally got there, and I'm a rider that needs some confidence, and after my 2 bad injuries last year, I just needed 1 race win, and it took like 4 meetings to come, which isn't that good. So Stoke was good for me. Bit of a shoddy track, but we got there in the end and got the away win, and then brought it to Kent on Monday and done the same again. Obviously then we had a week off, Mildenhall last Sunday. It was good to go back and show them what they're missing again, but just need to keep on going now, and just need to get more meetings under my belt, and once I finish my exams, all I'll do is speedway.
Right, Jordan.
Looking forward to finals now. Obviously, you had a bit of a practice there this year. You've done the under-21 semi-final there. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest tonight, so I was going to sort of slip over that. But by the end of the night, you seemed to be you was quicker than you was at the beginning. That's a track that traditionally you go well at. Something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, a couple of days before blew the engine that I wanted to ride at Isle of Wight up. Put my spare engine in. This is not something that goes well around the big tracks, and my other one had the wrong cam in it, but yeah, a lot of technical stuff, but I think we've got it sorted now, so we'll go there, win heat, whatever my first heat is, and go from there.
Lovely jubbly. Jordan Jenkins, everyone. So, also, as you may have noticed, we've got another important guest with us over here. We've got today's Munchkin mascot, and trying to put me out of the job already. I've only been doing it for 5 minutes, and he's got 2 questions prepared for the riders. Oh, and he's coming in at number 8 as well. So, watch out, boys. Okay, what's the first question?
Jordan, how do you manage to do schoolwork and racing?
Well, I don't know how much schoolwork I do at home, but to be fair, with sixth form it's alright. I think it's 10 free periods a week, so you do all your work in that, and your evenings, well, I work after school every night, 2 hours a night as soon as I get home, it's just spent in the workshop really. Obviously I'm in the middle of my exams, I've got 2.5 more weeks, and then I can walk out of that place having to look at it again, I can't wait. But yeah, I think it's definitely something I need to do, because we saw last year with my 2 injuries, nothing lasts forever. So yeah, get some qualifications and we can see what happens after Speedway.
If you were a Speedway supporter at a meeting, would you have a dirty Speedway burger or a dirty Speedway sausage?
That's one out of the line, I think. Probably a good job Danny's gone. Being an athlete. Jordan.
Well, I don't know about that, just check to see if there's any fitness coaches in the room. I reckon a burger. I'm all about the burgers. I'm not too keen on the sausages, you know.
Jacob?
I'd have to go for the same as Jordan, not too keen on sausages, so burger. Yeah.
And Chris?
Well, it's a burger every time.
No, I think I'm going to add the burger as my choice as well, everyone. So next, we are going to speak to Ian, who's going to announce for us tonight's rider of the night. But before we do, have you got any questions you want to ask any of the riders? No?
Well, apart from how did you guys get into it in the first place?
Jordan, how did you first get to Speedway?
I used to ride motocross and grass track, and it's quite a seasonal sport really, so after every winter I was coming back and losing my first 10 races, which wasn't good. So yeah, we'd go into Speedway, Scunthorpe, and done winter series every 2 weeks for 3 months I think it was, got my first Speedway bike, and started in the British Championships and sold everything from grass track. Yeah, just went from there really.
I kind of I never really was into bikes when I was a kid. It was always like football, and then I kind of saw something on TV, motocross. Got into that for a couple of years, and then a couple of years ago actually started Speedway. Because I knew my dad had done it and that, and I had a look at it on TV. Thought I'd give it a go, and I just really enjoyed it. So loving it ever since.
Sorry, everyone. Would you like to announce tonight's rider of the night?
Yep, it's going to be Jordan Jenkins.
Jordan Jenkins.
I'll get out of your way, sorry.
Okay, that's the end of tonight's press conference. Obviously, if anyone hasn't put into the collection for Dan and Alex, Danielle is about, she's got a orange high vis on, she'll wave a bucket to you, and I think Kirsty and Debbie will be up here shortly as well. And any other questions in regard to the Munchkins, please don't see Danielle, and thank you everyone for coming.